Growing up, my parents instilled in my sisters and me the importance of giving back to our community in whatever way we could, whether financially or by volunteering. From a young age, we had tzedakah money that received once a month and were able to choose where we wanted it to go. It wasn't a large amount, but we learned that even small amounts can have a big impact. One year, around the holidays, my sisters and I learned that a local children's hospital was in need of presents for the patients there. We decided that with our tzedakah allowance, we wanted to buy holiday presents so that the patients were able to receive gifts that year. While we knew that our money was not going to buy presents for every single child, we could give what we could to help them reach their goal. We were also taught that volunteering was just as important as giving financially. When I was a kid, my synagogue hosted Tent City 4, an organized tent encampment that provided a safe place for those who are unhoused as they look for more permanent housing. Because our synagogue's neighbors were not so happy about Tent City being in what they perceived as their backyard, in order to host the encampment, a congregant had to sleep over at temple every night as a reassurance that someone from the temple was on site should there be an issue that arose. I remember many nights sleeping over with my dad at the temple, getting to know their residents, learning their stories. By including me in this experience, my dad taught me that we could give back and showed how our involvement supported our temple's work, as well as the Tent City 4 organization and the homeless individuals who slept safely those nights. Those childhood experiences stayed with me, and as I grew older, I saw my parents living out the same values in bigger ways. I watched them volunteer on the board of almost every single Jewish organization in which our family was involved, putting their time, effort, and finances into the places that our family cared about. Even if they weren't on the board, they were helping plan events, running fundraisers, and working on projects for those organizations. Those early lessons from my parents were more than just family values. They echoed a much older Jewish tradition about giving, one that asks us not only what we can do as individuals, but what our community and our movement stands for. From childhood, I learned that giving back was not just about money. It was about what we stand for. And that brings to mind a bigger question. What does that mean for us, collectively, as Reformed Jews today? What is our responsibility as Reformed Jews and as individuals to give, to act, to invest in the world around us? Jewish tradition gives us language from my parents modeled two different but related forms of giving, tzedakah and gemilut chasadim, or chesed. Tzedakah, from the Hebrew word tzedek, or justice, is monetary. It is a mitzvah, a commanded obligation to help those who are in need. When we give money, we are doing what is just. We are doing what is fair. We are restoring balance in the world by offering some of what we have to others with less. Maimonides, a 12th century Spanish scholar, writes that it is a positive commandment to give tzedakah to those in need, as long as it is within the financial capacity of the donor. From Deuteronomy 15, 7-8, we learn, "If there is among you a poor person, one of your kin, in any of your gates, in your land which the eternal your God gives you, you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from your poor sibling, but you shall surely open your hand and lend them sufficient for their need, whatever it may be." Maimonides teaches that we are commanded to give a person what they lack, but we are not obligated to enrich them. Tzedakah is meant to be a way to help people in need get what they need, the same amount that everyone else needs and deserves. Maimonides grounds this commandment in Torah, but he also gives us a practical framework for what giving can look like in real life through his 8 levels of tzedakah. You can view these 8 levels as a ladder, all important, each one higher than the next. At the bottom of the ladder is giving reluctantly. The next levels include giving less than one should, but doing so happily, giving only after being asked, and different versions of giving anonymously. At the top of the ladder, for him, the highest form of tzedakah is to help someone become self-sufficient so the receiver will not need tzedakah again. Because tzedakah is obligatory, any version of giving counts for the mitzvah. But just like the saying, it is better to teach a person to fish than to give them a fish, it is best to help someone become less dependent on tzedakah in the future. We can imagine this today by giving someone a loan, paying for job training, donating equipment, or going into business with them. These are ways of climbing Maimonides' ladder, turning financial support into long-term change. Yet, our tradition teaches that financial giving is only one side of the picture. To create true wholeness, we also need a different kind of generosity, the gift of presence, compassion, and care. This is chesed. Unlike tzedakah, which is obligatory and monetary, chesed is voluntary. It flows not from our wallets, but from our hearts, expressed through time, relationships, and emotional support. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs writes that chesed includes hospitality to the lonely, visiting the sick, comforting the bereaved, raising the spirits of the depressed, helping people through crises in their lives, and making those at the margins feel a part of the community. He teaches that chesed and tzedakah are partners. Tzedakah is done with material goods, chesed with psychological ones. Tzedakah rights wrongs, chesed humanitizes fate. Sefer HaAgadah goes even further, teaching that chesed is greater than tzedakah in 3 ways. Tzedakah is only with money. Chesed can be with money or our presence. Tzedakah is only for the poor. Chesed is for anyone. Tzedakah is only for the living. Chesed is even for the dead, as we bury and sit shiva for those who have died. These texts give us a framework, but the Torah also gives us a story to bring it to life. We see one of the first examples of chesed in Abraham, who, upon seeing 3 strangers in the distance, runs to invite them into his tent. He doesn't know who they are or what they need, but he welcomes them and offers food, shelter, and kindness. Abraham shows us that chesed begins not with obligation, but with a generous heart. So if chesed and tzedakah are both essential, the question becomes, how do we live them out in our own lives? Sometimes teachings can feel abstract, so one way I like to imagine this balance is through the image of a bank account. Picture this. Your bank account holds 2 different resources: tzedakah, your financial capacity to support others, and chesed, your capacity to give time, presence, and emotional support. Just like in a bank, you can make withdrawals. When we give money, volunteer, visit a friend, or bring a meal to someone in need, we are making a withdrawal from our bank to give to someone else. This can be either large or small: a $5 donation to a cause you believe in, or a more significant contribution to a nonprofit, holding the door for a stranger, or committing to weekly visits at a nursing home. In all these cases, the currency flows out to the world to help others. Eventually, if all you do is make withdrawals, your bank will be depleted, so we need to leave space for deposits that can replenish us. No one has an infinite source of money or energy. We need to allow ourselves to receive as well as give. Sometimes we need the visit from a friend, and sometimes we need the check to help pay the bill. If each of us is a bank account, then the question becomes, what does your account look like? Where do you want to invest your dollars, your time, your energy? As we start the new year, think about mapping your own bank account. Where do you want your tzedakah dollars to go? What personal relationships or community organizations are you investing your chesed time in? How do you want your money, your time, your energy to make a difference this year? If we all act with balance and intention, the community succeeds. No one will be left out because everyone has something to contribute, whether tzedakah or chesed. And no one is shamed for being in need, because everyone at some point requires deposits from others. By circulating tzedakah and chesed, we ensure that our community thrives. And that balance isn't just an individual practice. It's what makes a community like ours strong. We already see this at TBE every day, in big and small acts of generosity. Here at TBE, we have many ways to invest, to volunteer your time, whether by helping with a social action project, volunteering on a committee, or acting as sacred partners with our staff to create amazing programs, and to give financially by sustaining education, culture arts, worship, and outreach that changes lives. Every contribution matters because every act of chesed and every dollar of tzedakah has a ripple effect that helps shape our community and our world. I think of the congregant who drops off soup for a sick friend, or the family that makes a donation in honor of a loved one. Small acts like these ripple outward, sustaining our community. As we enter these high holidays, this rhythm of giving and receiving, of investing in one another, is what we are called back to do. This is a season of reflection, renewal, and recommitment. Every act of giving, whether through money, time, or presence, matters and makes a difference in the world. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. It is not up to you to finish the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. So my final question for you tonight is, where can you make a difference this year? Where will you invest your tzedakah and chesed? Shana Tova.
This is a world premiere tonight. The publishing will show it is dedicated to Rabbi Megan Broomer. Lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena, lehibatel mimena, velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena. If you want to see it, be it. Your prayers are beautiful, but they're only where to start. They don't move the mountain. They only heal your heart to make tikkun olam complete. Heal your heart, then move your feet. Lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena. If you want to see it, be it. You don't have to be perfect. Work with what you've got. You don't need riches. A little means a lot. We're made b'tselem Elohim. So give tzedakah and gemilut chasadim. Lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena. If you want to see it, be it. We need you now, we need you all, there's no exception. Do all you can, it's time for action, not reflection. You're surrounded by people who want you to win. You don't have to complete, you just have to begin. You've got so much to offer and nothing to prove. If we all give a little, the mountains move. Lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, lo alecha, lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, velo ata ben want to see it be it.